Good morning, Hampton Roads. How's everybody doing today? And welcome to Virginia's only local real estate investing podcast, where we get to talk about local investors, local deals, and all things local. I'm your host, the founder of the Master Investor Academy, and author of my best-selling book, Work Just Gets in the Way of Making Money, Scott Jelinek. How is everybody doing today? It is a cold Friday today. But if you see the forecast, we are looking at Sunday for Easter being 78 and sunny, which 78 probably means it's really going to be 82, which is going to be a beautiful day in the backyard at the resort. Looking forward to it. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, properties you'd like to sell, things you'd like to discuss, go ahead and text me at 757-699-4227. That's 757-699-4227. And a couple of things. If you're listening to this on the podcast, I want you, if you can get a chance, take a second later on and go to YouTube. And I want you to go to this video and fast forward to the end, because what we're going to talk about today, I'm going to attach a video to it so that you can actually see what we're going to talk about. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you stay on to the very end, because I'm going to attach a video of the house we're going to discuss today, so that you can see it and understand exactly what it is I'm talking about. If you stay on to the end and watch it, I think it might be eye-opening for you to see exactly how we created all this money. So the title of this video, as you saw, was Cash Flow is King. Now, a lot of times people always want to say cash is king, and cash is important. You know, when you are working deals, it makes you a lot stronger to have cash, to be able to actually negotiate and close with cash. So I'm not putting down cash. I think it's awesome to have cash to work with. But cash flow is way more important. Cash flow is actually king. When you have money that you know is coming every single month, that is when you are free. That is when you have financial freedom, you know, and that is when you're at peace. So let me tell you, before we get into this deal, I want to tell you my philosophy anyway on actual cash. And I'm going to use a big number and say $1 million, right? If you have $1 million sitting in the bank account, I always feel like you can't really spend it, because once you spend it, it's gone forever. But if you were to invest it, you can spend the money that it makes every month, because it will always be there into perpetuity. Do you understand what I mean by that? And it doesn't matter the number. If it was $1 million or 5 million or 10 million, it doesn't matter. If you have a number, if you have $1 million, $5 million, it doesn't matter. If you have that money sitting in a bank account, right? And then you say, oh, I'm going to live on $100,000 or $200,000 a year, whatever it may be. And let's say you had 2 million. Well, next year you got 1.8, then 1.6, then 1.4, until it's gone and you have no money. If you were to take that same $2 million and invest it, and forget how much returns we make, which is way bigger, we're going to talk about in a second. But let's say you invested it in real estate and only made a 10% return. Well, now you're making $200,000 a year that you can spend, and you still have the initial 2 million. So I think it's critically important for people to get that through your head, that it is not the dollar amount in your bank account is not the important number. The important number is the money that you're receiving every month. By far, in my opinion, the most important number, because that money you can take and spend. You can spend it, you can reinvest it, you can do whatever you need with it, but the money that you had is still there. Anyway, that's not what we're going to talk about today. What we're going to talk about today is a deal that I just did yesterday. And it is so good when you do the numbers, and I want you guys to comment and you calculate. I want you guys to calculate for me what you see as the cash on cash return annualized, and because the numbers are just so great. So anyway, so this is a deal I did with a partner of mine. We have a separate company. It only has 4 properties in it. They're all free and clear. And what we do is basically we don't take any money out of it. And as the money grows, we take that money and buy another one. We started off with 2 properties, then we used the money to buy a third. And now we just bought the 4th one in that company. Well, anyway, so we purchased this property for $20,000. So I found the first 2. He found these next 2. And so he found it through his direct mail. And I'm going to show you the property at the end of this video. So we purchased it for $20,000. It's in Newport News. And actually, it's on a street where I own 14 other houses on that same street. I love that area. Well, anyway, total purchase price for $20,000. And it's in pretty rough condition. Again, you're going to see a video of it shortly. It's filled with stuff, with garbage. There's a mattress on the front porch. I mean, it's not the most attractive property in the world, right? But the very same day, we closed on it about 10 o'clock in the morning. He texted me, we closed on that deal. We can go ahead and try and fill it. I said, well, do you have a key? And he said, no, the lock's broken. The front door's open. So just go ahead. So the very first day, about 10 in the morning, we closed on the property. By 4 the afternoon, the same afternoon, we had it sold. but I want to go through the numbers with you. So I don't know if I've talked about it on here yet, but I've been talking about it with my coaching students. I fear inflation coming, obviously because all the money the government's been printing. And so because of that, I'm kind of inching up my pricing. I always said we generally do between $3,000 and $5,000 down. Well, now I've changed it to 5,000 down is my minimum. And then the second thing is we always would buy properties and automatically sell them for 89. I've changed that so far only on 2, but I'm changing it on everything moving forward to 129. And so anyway, we're not going to get into that today. But what I wanted to tell you is, so we sold it the same day we got it for keep in mind, we paid $20,000 for it at 10 a.m. At 4 p.m., we sold it for $129,000 with $5,000 down and $875 a month for 30 years. So, I could have raised the monthly also, and I am raising the monthly on some others, but as you'll see in the video, this house needed a lot of work. So I wanted to make it work for the investor as well, that he can still profit after he fixes it up and puts a tenant in there. So what I want you to do is I want you to calculate for me what you see as the cash on cash return. We paid cash, so we put out $20,000. And now calculate what we're going to get back over the course of a year. And that's going to include the 5,000 down and $875 a month. Absolutely. You cannot beat returns like this. And that's why I want you to actually pull out a calculator, calculate it. Let me know what you think that cash on cash return is. We absolutely can't beat it. So going back to what we talked about earlier, if you had $1 million or $5 million or whatever, once you calculate that cash on cash return, then compute it into numbers like this. If you were getting returns like this on how much monthly you would have coming in, as opposed to if you were just spending that money that was sitting in the bank account and slowly depleting itself. So I don't want to get into anything else on that today because I want to attach these other videos and I don't want it to get too long for you. If you are listening on the podcast, take some time when you have a minute. You can go do it on your phone or when you get home and just go to the YouTube channel. If you're not already on there, just type in Scott Jelinek Real Estate, or it's Master Investor One, but you can type in just my name and it'll pop right up. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast, click the like button so that I know that you are out there, and do something today your future self is going to thank you for. Remember, when you set yourself free, the world's going to line up to see how you did it. So go ahead and do something today that your future self is going to thank you for. And now I'm going to attach this video. So don't go yet, because I want to show you the house that we just sold for the 129. I want you to see exactly what it looks like, because the more you see, the more you're going to open up your brain to the possibilities of what you can actually do. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will look forward to seeing you guys.